Howdy everybody, Big Fatty Plus here. Welcome back to the BygMan Plays Planescape Torment. When we last left off...
I don't trust the Gith. I say we leave him behind.
Shut up, you floating skull. I don't trust you as it is. When we last left off, I got that glowing orb that Farad wanted, and now... I have a thing. You see, I could go into the Warrens of Thought, which is located back at the Drowned Nations. Or right here. One problem. It will lead me down a quest that I would not be able to do without severely damaging my alignment of neutral good as it is. And probably end up getting Dakan to leave my party completely. It involves basically pissing off everyone in the Dead Nations. Not something I want to do. So, well, being that it completely violates my alignment to the point of crap, I'm going to skip that part. Basically, it leads to there being a war in the Dead Nations between all the cranium rats, the skeletons, the zombies, and the ghouls. So, yeah, basically, yeah, I can't do this one because my charisma needs to be at least, at least 60. 16, not 60. However, so instead I'm going to talk to, Gear here. And yes, I have found the thing. A note of eagerness creeps into Goliath's dead voice. You have it? Pour some of its water across my lips, and I shall tell you what I promised to tell you. Sure, right here. 5 grand experience. The clear water from the flask trickles across the stone lips, diluting the filthy flow that spews from the holes. As you watch, the ditch's water slowly dissipates entirely, the dirty taint of it replaced by clear, fresh water. Goliath groans in ecstasy. After a moment he says, do you wish your answer now or later? Well, now. Seek out the woman called Namel. She resides in the clerk's ward in Upper Sigil. I know not where exactly. Best of luck in your quest, immortal. The voice seems to fade as it speaks to you. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
He's now basically going to be wallowing with the water. And now we're going to head back to the buried village to give Farad this orb that he so desperately wants, even though it makes me kind of nauseous. Thank God Dakan's so damn quick. We go over here. And this motherfucker won't let you in unless you either pay money or show the thing. Yeah, hey, you got what Ferris want? Yeah, yes I do. Show it to me, Burke, and I'll raise the game. Alright, there you go. Alright, come on back in. Oh, thank you. Before, when I didn't have it, I had to pay at least 50 gold to get back in. So, I know there's probably someone that will, oh, why don't you go see the Silent King? And it's like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But you can go and play it yourself and do your own way to discover the Silent King. Please, no spoilers, because I haven't walked through Iris Bolt myself. But please, no spoilers for any, in the comments for anyone else, because other people might want to learn themselves. And if you spoil it, I will have to strangle you. We're gonna go in here. And creepy old man, I swear. I want to give him the Herbert voice, but I won't. Hey, Farad. Ah, the guards! Farad turns as you approach, his crutch clacking on the cobbles of the court. He licks his lips and smiles expectantly. Have you brought me what I asked for? The bronze sphere? Here it is. 15 grand experience! Farad's eyes gleam as you hand him the bronze sphere. He touches it gingerly, almost reverently. You, he chuckles. Ah, corpse, such a gamble you were. And paid off handsomely, you have. Farad studies his reflection in the sphere and tisks. The years have been cruel to me, I see. Did what you asked, Farad. Now I want some answers. Farad doesn't even look at you as you speak. His attention is swallowed by the sphere he holds. Yes, ask your questions. Farad turns the sphere in his hand. Very important, your questions. What do you know about me? Why was I told to seek you out? Farad studies you with a critical eye. Stay your weapons for what I'm about to say, corpse, for it could be it could be your ears will take offense. Farad smiles wickedly. My ears no longer care, but yours are still fresh from the burning, it seems. You have my word that I'll stay in my hand, Farad. But I need to know what you know. I ain't gonna kill you, but I need to know. The truth! Farad's tone softens as if cajoling. The truth was stretched a bit from my mind to my tongue when we first spoke, corpse. In all terrible honesty, I know little about you. Raises a withered finger. Yet, hear me out. Yes. You're a cutter who plays at being dead, I see. Farad squints at you. Some time ago you came to me like you are now, but not just strolled right into Ilwyn Court and said you wanted an audience with me. An audience with you? Aye, an audience! Farad chuckles like whispering sand. Like I was royalty. He seemed amused, but there was an edge in his voice. You did the right things to say, you did. Oh, yes. You spoke the chant like a governor, born and true. And I listened to what did I want from you. Farad gives a mock bow, his crutch creaking as he leans against it. Oh, Farad, great collector king, you says. I have come before you to request a boon. A boon, I says. What could I offer man of such obvious strength? Go on. Farad wags his crooked finger. And you asked for a strange thing. You says, Lord Farad, I asked for courtesy. Your collectors roam throughout the hive. If they should find my body, I want it kept safe. That's all I asked, Farad shrugs. A simple boon. Seeing as all you know. Before you can speak, you suddenly feel a prickling in your skull as Farad speaks the word boon, and the smell of blood and fear rushes through your nostrils. Farad is hiding something. Something that happened in the past involving you, and it scares him. The boon he granted you was no simple matter. So you granted my boon just like that? There's nothing to be gained from you? Why'd you even agree to it? Farad falls silent for a moment. A dead man can keep no promises, and promises to a dead man are easy enough to make, corpse. You're a merchant, Farad, not a Samaritan. There must have been another reason. Aye? Farad's face suddenly peels back in fury, his skin flushing red. After you'd struck up a score of my blood on the hive walls to die, I had enough reason to promise you the plains themselves. Then your butchering self comes to my home, my kip, to demand a boon of me? Farad calms himself, though his face is still flushed. Aye, I agreed. Let me see here. Okay. I'm an honorable guy. I'm sorry about your people, Farad. That wasn't me. But if I can make up the loss to you, I will. Farad tiffs. No matter. The body served me well enough. The Dusty's pay the same for fresh debtors as for old. Was that the only reason you agreed to my request? You knew things about me. Things only I knew. You knew I was greedy for something beneath sickle. And you put a name and picture on it. The broad sphere, you said. I didn't think you would fetch it for me, he chuckles. Yeah, did you? Aye. The planes turn in strange ways. That's all you know? All I know? Nay, but it's all I know about you, corpse. Fine, next question. What'd you take off my body after I died? I? Farad licks his lips. Why, I took nothing, corpse. His face splits in a grin. Then I wasn't the one that found your body. Who did? Farad's smile widens, pulling the pasty folds of flesh back from his face like a curtain. My daughter, the rose in my eye, the sweetest of my family, and the sharpest wit of them all. He licks his dry lips and sighs in mock sadness. Such a cruel tongue on her. Your daughter? Who? I can't believe this man actually had sex at some point.
Updated my journal.
My darling girl Annah. She found you dead as a deader can be in a place where most collectors wouldn't go for a mountain of coppers. Could be she plucked something off you, could be not. He leans in, shaking his head. You'll have to ask her, for it's not her that's place to say. Don't lie to me, Farrod. You're a merchant. You always take a cut from your workers. What did Anna give you from my body? Ah, yes, my tribute. Farrod folds his withered hands over his crutch, almost protectively. There's no telling what was from you or not, Corpse. Most likely there was nothing. Let's see here. I like number 3. It's probably a bad idea, but truth. Farrod, my patience is at an end. If you don't handle what was stolen from me, I'll see to it the dustmen know where to find you. Farrod sighs for a moment, taps his fingers against his crutch slowly. Well? 1,000 experience! Where has the decency of man gone? Farrod grumbles, shaking his head. A courtesy I'm doing for you, Corpse. Such a courtesy. Farrod parting with anything. It'd be a dead book for me if anyone heard. Wait here. Move not a yard. I shall return. Where he's
Updated
going.
my journal.
For a long while, Farrod turns his clutch cracking against the flagstones. In his hand, he holds a number of items which he passes off to you. You'll be silent on this and accept a blessing that I even remembered. A few hundred coppers, a scrap of paper, and a ring. Very well. Now, who was it that found me again?
I couldn't carry any more, so I had to drop it.
My darling girl, Anna. She found you dead as a deader can be in a place where most collectors wouldn't go for a mountain of coppers. Maybe she plucked something off you, could be nice. Alright, and I'll go ask her, where is she? Where's Anna? Farrod shrugs. She's hiding in the shadows here, I expect, listening to us trade the chant. I called for her after you went below. Had to ask her if you were really in the dead book when she found you or not. Chuckles dryly, then takes a deep breath, calls out to the darkness. Anna! Stop mithering in those shadows and come and greet our guest! She's here? Well, well, well. It'd be that lady that was, messing with us in the beginning. Hello, Anna.
Oh, what now?
You turn to see a striking red-haired girl dressed in leather armor. You didn't even hear her enter the chamber. Her right arm is covered with a series of interlocking plates that look as if they were taken from the skin of some creature, and a horned shoulder piece protects her left arm. Oddly enough, she has a tail that is flicking back and forth as you watch. You're Anna? I met you in the hive outside the mortuary, correct? The girl ignores you and turns to Farrod. What's this about then? I'm not playing the leash pull with this guard dog, so I'm not. Get one of the other gullies to do it. Anna, rose of my eye. Have I not taught you to respect the dead? A thin smile warns across Farrod's face, and he makes a slight bow towards you. This resourceful corpse needs to know where you found him. Hey, what? What are you on about? She squints at you. He's not a deader. Yes, my mistake. Farrod nods, and his voice drops dangerously. Yet, my darling Anna, that still makes it your mistake. For this one only had one foot in the dead book when you brought him to me. Taps his crutch against the flagstones with a light tap. He woke up, sucked me out. Most embarrassing. So? Anna glances to you, then shrugs. He shouldn't be playing dead on the hive while I'm about, or he'll wake up in the dust his arms will. Enough of this. Where'd you find my body? Show him where you found this body, Anna. Farrod taps his crutch again for emphasis. Take him to the haunted alley. Farrod studies Anna for a moment, then grins and turns to you. If you happen to lose my darling Anna on the way to the alley, corpse, better come out and see Farrod. I'll guide you.
Updated my journal.
Anna sneers at Farrod, then throws a glance at you. Come on, then. Keep your sticks quick, Jig. I've little time to waste in likes of ye. Oh, now am I supposed to? Okay. Very well, let's head there now. Oh, crap. Annah points to the door for you. No, that's where you want to be. Alright, let's head on in. And by head on in, I mean run all the way back to the freaking place to get the shit that I dropped because I had no freaking room. And why the hell is your HP like that? Give me a few moments. Alright, we're here and I already got the items, which consisted of a note, which said, "This is tattoo note received for the reads notes tattoo. Beware shadows. Beware places where the night lives. They wait, there's no natural darkness, only shadows." Shadows live? I don't know, I'm guessing. And we also got this simple, this simple ring. This small silver ring looks like it belongs on a woman's finger. It feels slightly warm to the touch. It has no other special properties. Well, let's identify, which is Griserius' ring. A small silver ring. Its power to offset poison is there to wear his bloodstream. Ah, plus save versus poison. That's always good. But we're here to talk to good old Fel here. Fel turns to face you as you approach. Next to you, Annah stiffens as she catches the sight of Fel. Annah, what's wrong? Oh, you daft! Annah turns to you, and you suddenly realize she's frightened. Are you so picky to dance in the latest shadow? You bandy words with this one? Let's get this place to laugh before we get pinned in the dead book. But what's the problem? It's Fel. Annah throws a fearful glance at the creature, presumably Fel. Speak away, no good come of being if so won't. I'll ask again, what's the problem? He's a Darbus who's not a Darbus, he walks in the ground. And his voice drops to whisper. She starts trembling. No more questions, let's give this place a laugh, eh? Annah, no harm will come to you while I'm here. Now tell me, what's wrong? Annah throws a frightened glance at Fel. Fel's a Darbus who's angered her. It said he's a Darbus who isn't a Darbus. And the time's close when the lady'll gaze upon him, so will. Her? You mean the lady of pain? Aye, and heed your tongue. Annah makes another semicircle in the air in front of her as you mention the lady's name. The Darbus works for the lady and she protects them, except Fel. She shudders. This be why I like to speak to Fel first. Annah grabs your arm. Please, nay, no good come of it. Anyone speaking to Fel could draw a lady's gaze. I don't want to die, I don't! She's surprised and looks close to tears. And the book through never mentioned this. Never mentioned this. Promise. Annah, no harm will come to you while I'm here. I promise. I just wanted to speak to him for a moment. For a moment, Annah looks at you. Then something in your gaze seems to calm her, for she steals herself. I don't know why. She asks. She shakes her head. Go on then. Talk to him. I don't care. There is an undercurrent of fear in her voice. Very well. Darbus waits patiently, his hands tucked into its sleeves. A series of symbols appears above his head, anticipating a question mark appears. Dakan, can you translate for me? Dakan nods. Ask him if he did. Ask me if he did the tattoos on this dismembered arm I found. Fel examines it for a moment, tracing the patterns with his finger. He looks up, and a series of rebuses form, hazy at first, then comes sharply into focus. You think he said the arm is yours, and the tattoos speak of you and 4 others. What did he say, Dakan? Dakan say symbols remain silent. Dakan, what did he say? The arm is yours. The tattoos are his. Shut up, watch. Let's see. Did he say anything more than that?
Updated my journal.
Takana sighed for a moment. Suddenly, instinctively, you know Takana is lying to you. He continues on with a dead-level tone. The rest of the symbols are not known to me. Why are you lying to me? Takana falls silent again. He does not turn to look at you. He seems to be staring at something leagues away. These symbols... There is no good knowing the answer that you ask. Since when has not knowing the truth of something ever really helped anyone, Takana? The counselor who counsels ignorance betrays his station.
Updated my
Ooh.
journal.
And how much XP I get for that? 750, alright. There is truth in your words. That truth should be known to me. Takana sighed for a moment, then he turns to you. His eyes hardened. The symbols speak of 4 you have traveled with in the past. Go on. What 4 are these? 4 strings of symbols swirl from Fell's head, matching the pattern upon the dismembered arm. The symbols are hard to translate, and at the end you're not certain if you translate them correctly. You think he said an unloved one that loves, one that sees someone familiar, and the last, a chained one. As you finish translating, the 4 strings seem to form themselves into links, and they merge to a chain. What did he say, Takana? Takana isn't even looking at the symbols. The tattoo speaks of 4 minds. One was a woman who loved a man who knew her and knew not love. The other was a blind man who saw things no mortal eye could see. Another was a familiar, a mage's pet, bought and bound. And the last was a slave. Why did you not want to tell me this? The 4 are bound with a symbol that is known to me. Yep, what symbol? The symbol sharpens, gaining edges that are almost painful for your eyes. Fell nods at your left arm, at your shoulder. From what you can make up, he's saying the mark on your shoulder is torment. The next 3 symbols seem to hint suffering, even when forgotten. What did he say? The symbol is torment. He says that you have always worn it, for the flesh knows that it suffers, even when the mind does not. Okay, keep challenging or something? I don't know. Enough! Tell me about the symbol on the tattoo. Takana-san again. I will not my speak of it here. Ask what thou will only be for the ears of those that walk with you. Alright, very well. Is there anything else about the tattoos on the arm? Phil examines the arm again, tracing the other faded tattoos upon its surface. As he does, they each appear as a symbol above his head, hazy at first, and then coming into focus sharply. Turns to face you. If you're translating symbols correctly, he's saying that he forgot these tattoos, but he remembers them now. What'd he say? He says that the arm wears forgotten tattoos. He has remembered them now. They are yours if you want them. Okay, I'd like to see all tattoos he has available. Which is, the walkthrough saying I should buy all of them will run 40 to 100 coppers, but the walkthrough's out of its damn mind. Tattoo of Annah. Some of Anna's presence must have rubbing off on you, for this tattoo allows you to call upon some of her cat-like skills and grace to hone her teeth. Unfortunately, it also inherits some of Anna's brashness and impulsiveness, reducing your charisma and wisdom accordingly. Ooh. Tattoo of the skull. For all Morte's faults, having him as a companion makes you seem more capable and not much of a stranger to Sigil Streets. Okay, good, okay. Good. Bone Singer, Holden Dead. Focus Blast. That is a lot. Oh, 1,200. Wait a minute. Okay, what's this? Why is that 1,200? I have 1,700. Why can't I grab this? Only usable by fighters. Ooh. Well, that would make sense. Ooh, that could have helped earlier. Let's see. Well, I think I'm going to be doing some of the inventory shuffling and whatnot off screen, and as well as some of the buying. So, is the Lady of Pain going to be pissed off that we're talking with Fel? And when the hell are we going to get to the Tenement of Thugs? Find out next time on the BygMan Plays! Planescape Torment, requested by Bormac. Until next episode, it's Big Fatty Plus, sayonara. And, god dang, there's so many goddamn secrets around people keeping from me. I wish everyone would just be open and honest and, tell me shit from the get-go. But yes, I know if they did that, there would be no plot to the goddamn story.